eventually.
What is up, everybody?
Always a banger. Always a banger.
I just want to take a short second to let you all know that I was first on both platforms, both YouTube and Twitch. So
Nice.
Suck it, chaos, whenever you get here.
You're your own best hero, I guess.
I sure am, and you know it.
Yeah.
All right. We are here today to talk about Mega Man X4, a game that I dreaded for no reason.
Yeah, this is not one to dread. I
No.
tried to explain that to everybody. I'm like, out of all the X games, this is not the one to complain about.
Griff put it on the list, and I assumed Griff was doing it to torture me, and apparently he was not. So, sorry to Griff also, because I for sure thought it was him trying to torture me. We did not get any posts from Pingcord and Discords.
Not yet. Okay.
Nothing yet.
So hopefully,
Crazy, because that's usually pretty good.
it's usually like spot on.
Yeah, instant. So
I may not have too much traffic flowing in right now.
this Pingcord's live and good too. So
yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll make it work. We can keep running with it and post it. I'll post it manually while you kind of give the introduction.
Okay, great. I think everybody knows Mega Man X4 is made by Capcom, and in my opinion, one of Capcom's better IPs. Probably, with the exception of their Disney games on the NES. Capcom might be it for me, or Mega Man might be it for me for Capcom. Came out on the PS1. I don't know what year it came out. Probably fairly early into the life cycle.
Well, like 97 maybe.
No, I think it had to have been
like it was pretty early
later than that.
Was
it?
PS1?
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I mean maybe
97,
like
August 1st, 97.
Oh,
Really?
so it is 97. Okay.
I was gonna say because I bought this, like I literally remember the place that I bought this and like how much it cost me and everything. I don't know why that's like so. It burned into my brain, but like I remember all of that about it, and for some reason, there's no way I was like 7 years old, and I bought it brand new. Maybe I was, maybe I'm like insane, but I swear there's no way I was 7 years old because I bought it for $40 new, and there's no way I had $40 at 7 years old to buy that brand new.
So you bought it yourself. It wasn't your parents buying it.
No, it was not, and it was on a whim. I was in there's a brand new awesome mall in Prescott, Arizona, and we went up north every weekend up there because we had a place up there, and it's the kind of thing where my parents are like, "I will drop you off there because like we got stuff we want to do, and you can just be a mall rat, right?" And there was a GameStop there, nice little GameStop, and you know what? This is back when GameStop was very much regularly selling retro games.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they would have just bins of like NES titles. I remember they had, and I didn't pick it up because at the time you didn't care, but they had like Gold Cart Zelda copies for $3. $3. Like nobody wanted them, nobody was buying them. They're just in a pile there. And on a whim, I was like, "Oh, Mega Man X4, they're still making Mega Man games. All right, this looks kind of cool." And I was like, $40. I was like, I guess I got $40. Why not? Let me try it out. I'm looking for something new. And yeah, I bought it brand new for that. For obviously PlayStation 1 at that GameStop, and I fell in love with it pretty quickly because it is, in my opinion, one of the better X games. But yeah, I can't believe that was 97. Maybe I was that young. I don't know.
Maybe you were.
Doesn't seem right.
I mean, but back in the day, like, you said that your parents dropped you off there.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, back in the day, that was normal though. Like parents dropped their kids off places and like, all right, we'll be back.
That's
that was
exactly
pretty
what
much
happened.
it. Yeah, it was like it wasn't like the way it is nowadays. I mean, nowadays it's like you try to do something like that and it's
People
you
will
get
call the
arrested.
police if they see your child.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Without an adult supervision. Chaos over on Twitch says Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. Yes. Absolutely. Oh man.
So I'm going to go ahead and assume that everybody enjoyed this game because it is a very, very good game.
Yep.
I think that the way that I kind of paint it is like, I mean, you definitely, to me, this is the hard reset. This is the hard reset of the Mega Man X series, because you have Mega Man X, which, I could talk about day and night wise. It was one of the most like influential platformer games, especially for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's one of the few like flawless games in my opinion. Like there's zero problems with that game. And then you get into X2 and you're like, okay, they changed some things and I can definitely find flaws. And then you get to X3 and you're like, okay, this is still an X game, but there's, in my opinion, more flaws with it out of all the series. Now we hit PlayStation, you got Mega Man X4, and it's like the great reset. It's like we're on PlayStation now. Check it out. We threw all the bells and whistles. There's fully animated cutscenes.
I love that too. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. That was pretty sweet.
I don't remember any cutscenes.
Of course you didn't.
Of course.
So just so you're aware, there were cutscenes in this game. They had the soundtrack is phenomenal. I mean, a typical X fashion. I don't think that suffered throughout the series, but pretty much everything on there is a banger. Visually, the sprite work and everything is really, really good. Like to me, this was just a very solid like reset. And sure enough, I don't know if you guys know. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know, because I don't know if you've played it, but like X5 immediately starts having flaws, and even X6 is pretty flawed in itself. X7, X8 it gets worse and worse from there. So
which one of the Mega Man X games was it where you're pretty much fighting like a 3D Sigma? I saw Griff playing it.
So that was I think you're talking about Mega Man X2 where it's like a head.
It kind of looks like a Star Foxy.
Okay, so they're trying to do like a foreground and a background, and like that. Like I saw Griff playing it one time. This was months ago, and like he's going across these platforms, and like they're like it's a huge room, and when he moves left and right, the platforms are kind of like circling.
Oh, that's
around.
X.
Is it a giant?
No.
Is it a giant robot? A giant robot?
No. It's definitely not X. It was like 7 or 8. It was like one of the later ones. And he was playing, and he was just having a hell of a time with it. And I'm like, well, which one is this? And I can't remember what it was. It was definitely one of the way later ones.
So if it's full 3D, it's X7 or X8, and those are PlayStation 2 titles. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a series. The series ended. The X games ended with X8. There hasn't been anything.
X7 is terrible, says Chaos.
Scott, welcome in there, buddy.
Yeah.
Watching over on YouTube.
Yes. Most people regard X7 and X8 as by far like the worst in the series.
I've got do you follow back on Twitch? You just followed?
Just follow. Thank you so much for the follow there, Reflex. We're on YouTube.
Not slow-mo. What do we have to lose?
We'll check out your channel.
What's name reveal? Oh, that's Fritz, Mr. Fritz.
It is, yeah.
It's kind of interesting. I mean, that's something worth mentioning.
We both have the same name.
It's something worth mentioning too. I think for the people that are here that aren't necessarily in Discord, we are also on Twitch too. So
yes, we are.
If you would prefer to watch on Twitch, we were chatting with folks on Twitch too. You can follow us there, and we're over there as well. Which I probably should have linked that in the Discord as well. I forgot to do that. I only linked the YouTube one.
I mean, YouTube's our main
Yeah.
right now, but
Whatever you say,
Twitch
boss.
Twitch can grow.
Gotcha.
You know.
Yeah. So I think yeah. Anyway, to kind of get back on track, X4 is definitely one of the more solid ones in my series. If I had to personally rank the X games, just on a whim, I think OG X would probably be at the top, and X4 would be right below it. The other stuff would kind of be jumped up.
Those are the only two I've ever played.
I've played X2, and X4. I haven't even touched X3 yet. Maybe a little bit, but not. But I think X4 does beat out X2.
Shadowloo, you got the same container as me.
X2 was extremely easy.
Yeah. Those Walmart $3 specials.
Dude.
Yeah. See?
Yes.
X2 was very easy for a.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the way I always look at it, because I mean, back in the day, like prior to save state, right? You typically had to like farm for your sub tanks and stuff like that. Well, in X2 like enemy health drops and stuff are worse, but there is the boss that has the ability where you can scan certain locations and pull in tons of health and stuff. You can basically like insta fill your sub tanks.
Oh, so yeah. You can go to the water level and fill up real fast.
But that's what I'm saying is, for the most part, they lessened like enemy health and energy drops, like in general.
Yeah.
You get into X3, not only is there no way to farm, but enemies drop basically nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
So it's like getting hurt is just like insanely brutal. And then if you're trying to prep for a boss fight or whatever, it's like you would just spend so much time trying to do it because there's no good place to farm or fill up. So like that's where I'm like, they got into this world of like, hey, we're gonna make the games harder by basically inconveniencing you more. And that's not a great way to make a game harder. Like, just from a game design standpoint, it really stinks. And I'm not saying like X3 is fundamentally like awful. It's not. I mean, if you like Mega Man X, you'll probably like it. It's just way more difficult via inconvenience, in my opinion.
Yeah.
X4, I mean, we should probably show some sort of gameplay footage or something before we really start getting into it.
Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and throw Freedom's gameplay.
Hey, Hokey, welcome in.
Welcome.
See what we got.
Yeah, so like I said before, I enjoyed the X games that I've played. I've only played X and an X4 now. It was just, I've always been interested in it, but it was pretty much like, I don't have a problem with people playing the same stuff. There's a lot of streamers out there that like to play the same games, and it's just like, you see it so much, it was kind of like all right, it's great. Eventually, there will be a reason for me to play these because they are great games, but I never really picked any of it up. So once X4 was on the list, I have been looking forward to it. I definitely enjoyed this. Just like me and Slow-Mo were talking about it after he beat it, like a day in, 2 days in. It's you pretty much find the locations, find the the movements and how everybody kind of does their movements and stuff like that. Figuring out what special moves work, what special moves don't. Like you said, Shadowloo, the sprite work was absolutely amazing on this. It wasn't overly difficult for most of the stuff. Really, just Sigma at the end, like the final form of Sigma, was just the thing that I had to deal with. Mostly was just figuring out what the movements were going to be, figuring out, the one part where he pretty much sucks up the air and then spits out all that debris is just what took me over for the most part. But I really enjoyed all the boss fights on here. I really enjoyed the dragon, which was the first boss that I actually decided to fight because I saw that apparently he was one of your friends at one point. I enjoy the fact that they threw in some Street Fighter moves. He did like the Shoryuken, and then he did the Fireball as well, which I thought was absolutely amazing. But yeah, some of the Sigma wasn't too bad. You kind of figure out how he moves. All the bosses, how they move. Soundtrack was pretty great. I enjoyed the cutscenes. It was definitely like, obviously we're watching an anime. But overall, I definitely enjoyed this one. Not too bad. It definitely makes me want to try to play some of the other ones. But the fact that you guys are saying that X and X4 are pretty much the top ones, and it kind of goes not really downhill, but these are the better ones. It almost makes me just want to enjoy what I've already played. So
I would say it goes downhill after 4.
Okay. So yeah. I've had, dude. I fought this guy like 25 times. Like I fought him mostly yesterday. And it was just like every single time I would get his health almost completely gone. He would start doing that debris spit, and I'm like, dude, something's got to be going. So this last time, I was like, dude, I'm just going to get in his face, and if I get hit, I get hit, and that's going to be it. But then I finally did it. Definitely enjoyed the game all around. Really great. I'm happy. I'm really happy the fact that it finally came up on the wheel.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah, this is as I said, I think, I don't know if if I had to choose this one over like X, X2, X3, X5, X6, whatever, in any of those, I would easily pick to play X4 over X2 or X3. That's not to say like they're not classics,
right,
but,
right.
Like totally would do X4 over either of those. So
they add some elements that X2 and X3 don't have.
Yeah, one of the things that I played Zero because it was pretty much up close and personal, the close encounter, fighting and stuff like that. I wanted to definitely give that a shot, and I definitely enjoyed it. One of these days I'm gonna go through it and try it as X, but yeah, playing it as Zero is what I meant to say. Was definitely pretty great. I definitely enjoyed it.
Well, good.
Yeah,
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Glad there's a reason for me to keep it on the list.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, this was a good one that I'm like everybody.
One of the other reasons, I mean, I've already said it last week when the game finally got picked. I mean, one of the reasons why I hadn't really played it too much either is because I know we all can play whatever we want to play, but it was pretty much Griff's thing, and it was kind of like I watched Griff play it, so I enjoy it that way, and I didn't really give me the get up and go to play it, but now, yeah, absolutely. So,
I mean, we're all independent streamers. You can stream whatever you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to stream Lion King? Go for it.
Yeah,
believe me, I did one of those videos. I did one of those videos of Lion King too. That we'll discuss here in just a little bit.
And that's one of the thing about streaming in general for me is like, people like you get a little niche and then you're stuck there.
Oh yeah.
Your followers come to see, and then you're like, I want to play something completely off the wall, random, and nobody stays.
Right.
And so, like,
it's
good viewership, or you have nobody there and talk to yourself.
Well, and I don't know how people promote like stuff in general, because I was just looking at it. It's like, there's somebody in my Discord and he was playing Simpsons Hit and Run, which I'm like, oh yeah, that's probably one of those that kind of has a following. And his viewership was just, like, he had one of those things where it clearly hit the FYP, and it's like he had well over 100 people, and then all of a sudden it just kind of dwindled down to like 5.
I feel like TikTok does that though. I mean, there's some times when you guys already know, if anybody watches me stream, I pretty much play a bunch of random stuff unless it's a bigger game and I just kind of want to go through it within a couple days. It's the same thing. It's like you'll get like 80 to 100 people in there for a good 5-10 minutes, and then it just drops. So I don't know if it's the algorithm. I don't know what it is.
There's also a lot of things that these bots that they have, like, they monitor your streams, and if you don't meet like every criteria, they'll block you from the FYP.
Oh wow.
Oh really?
If you don't have like perfect lighting.
That's what.
If you don't if you don't show your face on stream,
yeah,
they'll just completely block you from the FYP.
Hey, Fritz says Griff held my hand through the first Mega Man X playthrough. Mine too. As a matter of fact, and Slow-Mo said the same thing. I streamed it on Discord, in his first Discord, and he was pretty much just giving me hints, kind of walking me through it too. So absolutely, man.
Yeah, it was a good time. Griff did the same exact way. Me and Griff were in a voice chat on Discord, and he was like, "Okay, now go do this boss." Like, he pretty much walked me through the entire thing. Like,
right.
That's what everybody did to me for Toomba. I was like, I was like, man, some of these quests are like kind of funky. Like somebody's got to be able to know how this is. And dude, you get a couple of those niche people that it's like that is their game.
Oh yeah.
They know everything about it.
Oh yeah.
They have no problem backseating you. They're like they'll get you where you need to go. Yeah. Thankfully, I didn't need to do that. You know what? I did that to be fair because I kind of did a gauntlet of these, and I did that with X4. I didn't need it so much, but X5 and X6 I haven't played, and man, are those games brutal. I absolutely hate X5, and like X5 is probably my least favorite out of all of them. X5 is like I don't know how to describe it without us getting into it. They introduce a duck mechanic, so now you can duck, and after playing so many of the games where like you just don't need that, you're just so not used to like doing it that they kind of build levels in a certain way where you have to duck to dodge certain things, and it's just it feels completely unnatural. So you not only have to duck, and then they've got like a rail mechanic too, where you can like jump and hang and move back and forth on a rail kind of thing. You know what it starts to remind me of is Power Blade. You might like Power Blade.
Dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge, says Chaos.
Right. So, Slimma, you got some gameplay?
Does Shadowloose have any gameplay?
I don't. That's why I was going to tell you. I'm sitting right here. I've got it booted up. I'm like, I can run through Sigma for you guys. I can do the final Sigma fight because I'm not going to be able to get a video in time, and all my video is portrait anyway, so it's going to look funny on here. But I will attempt to do the final boss for you live on stream.
Okay, go for it.
Let's see. How do I
screen?
Can I? Oh, I just got to share screen. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can adjust volume as needed, and we'll see if let's see. I don't know if this is gonna do it. Oh, here we go. And there we go. Entire screen. Okay. Do I have to tell it to pull audio?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I did that. Hold on.
So if you when you click entire screen,
there's a little button underneath. Right?
Yeah, there's a little like a toggle switch.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Here we go. So I'm gonna attempt to do this. Okay. So something else. This is kind of highlights some of this. So I'm playing through as X. And one thing about it that I really enjoyed in this one is the quality of life. So any of your weapons, your items that you use, if you die, all of those are refilled. There's also an ability that you can get in this game, or like an unlock, that basically allows you to use the core function of those specials infinitely. If you want to charge and use the special, then it's going to cost you. It's going to eat away at your energy for that. But otherwise, like, for instance, you can see, like, I've got one right here. I'm using a special item, and it used absolutely nothing on my energy bar. So I can use this as many times as I want. So, like, this is it's incredibly useful in this one. Now, this is this Sigma's a 3-phase Sigma. This is actually a pretty difficult Sigma, but the first 2 phases are pretty dang simple overall. Chumps. Yeah. So this is like your very first one. He's weak to fire. He's gonna have two spawns right above you, and then he's gonna try to do a swipe through one of the sides of the screen, which I always just dodge it. But so, like, blowing through him, you can basically do a no-hit here, as I'm going to have my dog jump on my lap. Frank, award for the worst timing goes to... And so, once you burn him through here, that's where it gets kind of, like, a little bit more difficult in Phase 2. Sort of... Has he technically been revealed as Sigma yet, or no? I don't even remember at this point.
I don't think so.
Not yet. Not until he throws his cape off or whatever.
Yeah, okay, so you burn it off. He's just like kind of the mysterious guy. Of course it has to be Sigma. Yep. I'm sure Slow-Mo skipped all of that as well.
I did.
And then you want him to throw on the wall, pretty much.
Yeah, because if he throws the floor and he throws those boomerangs, that's just trash.
Yeah. So you want that.
Yeah, those boomerangs are terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, dang it. Not good. And then we're on the final hit right here. So there's that. And then this
Hopefully
is the
you have
most
some
difficult
tanks.
part. So this one is essentially 2 bosses in one. There's 2 main enemies in it, and they both have their own health. And I think this is where most people get tripped up on this fight. And it cycles phases pretty regularly. There's a gun, this guy. There's the Sigma head that's on the floor, and he either I got comments filtered on this, by the way, when I was trying to help other people. The head either sucks or blows.
That is true.
I don't know what to tell you. It does. And so you're either needing to dash towards the head to avoid getting hit in a spike wall, or you need to dash away from it. And then there's these kind of like little heads in between that you want to.
Yeah, they're like little Darth Vader helmets.
Yeah. And so basically, yep, those guys.
They look like Power Rangers.
Yep, they're definitely Power Rangers for sure. Okay, and so here's kind of the thing. Let's see. Oh. So this is the worst
that's
part.
the one
this is the
I
one that always
hated,
got me
dude.
most. But what I'm going to do, and actually, yeah, here, sorry, so here's the thing. I switched L1 to be my main thing, and so now to dash. I mean,
It feels good, right?
Switching weapons is not as easy for me, I should say.
But it feels good to have a trigger as a dash, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that is one of those things where like I'm not used to doing that. And I didn't even know it was changeable on the other Mega Man games. So, new to me. Also, that gun has no hitbox, no collision. So, if you're inside of the shot, you won't get hit. You won't get hurt doing that. So, it's actually, like, you can get pretty close on them. And let's see. This should go pretty quick here.
That was my least favorite of the 3.
The lightning, yeah.
The lightning one?
Yeah.
I can usually dodge it pretty good. I
got better at it, but it's still not something I want to do regularly.
Yeah, it's like I'm obviously having performance anxiety here, so what are you going to do? That guy's just trying to clean the floors. That's what I was going to say. That's just a janitor bot.
Yeah.
He gets the short end of that stick. And then this one has a trip up sometimes. Yep, this is it. He just ends up annihilating the floor. And if you have the worst RNG, he'll constantly just keep doing that.
One try where he only did it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was nothing but that. Yeah,
Yeah, nothing but that.
See, this is the one that it's like I lose all the health here.
So
like
my the difference between what I think you all did and what I did is when he did that attack, I did not try to attack. I played defensive and I climbed the wall.
Yeah.
Just waited for it kind of thing.
Yeah, like if you do, you can as X, you can destroy that redhead and just go up the wall and stay in the corner, and none of the rocks will hit you. And
well, and so I was going to ask too, because I didn't even attempt to play Zero on this one. He's got like a shot too, doesn't he? Like he still has kind of like an X-Bustery type attack.
Not that I know of, no. He's got this ability where he'll like
punch
strike
the
ground and they'll come all around him. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
But he don't have like a shot.
No.
See, that's how you should do that.
Looking at those sub tanks, I had everything collected. I probably one of the reasons why it took me so long is because I didn't have any of the spare sub tanks filled when I played against him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like, that's one of the reasons why I had to restart it so many times, because it's like you get right there and then you don't have any extra health. It's like you pretty much got to do a one and done.
I think one of the best things about this game that I don't think was in the other games is if you have to continue, you keep your sub tank progress.
Yeah,
you keep all of it. Oh no. Okay, hold on. We're on the last one. We should be able to get through this. I ain't never scared. So the main thing with this is I was gonna say with Zero, you don't have to hear him say time to get serious, do you?
Who Sigma?
No, because Mega does that. Whenever his hell gets low, he goes, "Time to get serious."
Oh,
he says something.
He says something else like,
oh, does he? Okay.
It's not too late or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Does he say it's just the beginning or something?
Something. It's
cheesy.
not over. Oh, he kept saying it's not over yet.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. So that's one. So the boss isn't over yet. You still have to defeat the head, and that's where it's kind of like. Oh, I don't remember him ever just straight up going into that phase, but no! Oh! that was almost nightmarishly bad right there. But yeah, that's it. So you get good old Sigma kind of throwing.
He did it. Congratulations.
Nice.
Throwing in the towel until he's not thrown in the towel anymore.
Little golf clap for you.
Yep.
Yeah. So big boom. Big bada boom.
All right. You all ready to see mine?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to play the whole game right now. Sorry for your eardrums.
You're not sorry.
Find my video now. Ha! I know I can't find my video. I didn't even upload it. Way to go, me.
All clearly prepared. Right. Hey, now that we're on Twitch, maybe I'll just like stream directly on there.
So I played as X, as you can see. I also played as Zero. I beat it both times. I wanted to get the full experience of the game, so I did both. I feel that the game was easier as X, honestly, because you you can fight from a distance, and you have the like every boss has a weakness, even at Zero, but it's more defined with X. Because you get a lot of things with Zero that really just aren't very helpful.
Pretty much more defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zero is definitely the challenge option in this game.
Yeah, I first tried Slash Tiger with X, and it took me so many tries with Zero. Just because I had already played it as X, and then I'm trying to do the same stuff I was doing with Zero, and it doesn't work.
Right.
I will say this too. Go ahead. Not to talk over your video, Slow-Mo.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Because I run out of things to say, and this is kind of a long video.
Well, I was gonna say for X, like as you play through X, he primarily gets to steal the abilities, and you get that kind of rock paper scissors effect.
Yeah.
The thing is with him, this game is probably the most guilty of if you are using a Maverick ability against the proper boss, like you can basically stun lock them and take no damage. Like this is the one that I think is the easiest way to eliminate all of the Maverick the Maverick bosses with the their weakness ability or whatever, because I mean there was one I literally did it with my eyes closed on the stream because you just don't have to do anything.
Magma Dragoon with the X Buster is so hard. When you do it with the whatever
it's kind of like a blade cutter thing,
the double twister, I don't know, that you hit him, he jumps to the other side, you go over,
double
you hit him,
cyclone,
he jumps to the other side. You double cyclone.
That's it.
A lot of my game though was defensive, so I was always just hiding up the walls the whole time, and it worked for me. I got it done.
I think we all did. We all got
Sigma, we did. We all beat the game this time, which is impressive for us.
Dodo Gaming, thank you so much for stopping in over on YouTube. What's going on, man?
Hey, Dodo, welcome in, man.
But I mean, yeah, overall, I mean, great game, good pick. Thanks, Griff.
Yep, absolutely.
He's not here.
Which I thought he would be, because we were talking about one of his favorite games.
He's probably streaming X4 right now.
Maybe.
Could be.
He could be sleeping
in honor.
It could be nap time.
I was a nap time.
Which I mean, I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah.
So, would you all like to
rate it?
rate this game. We have a new segment we're going to try to introduce today. So
it's not going to be
that
too
here
long.
A little bit later.
We're not going to be too long.
No, I'm just saying. That's why we're like jumping straight into the ranking to try to, organize it a little bit. Joke's on you. I just woke up. I knew it. There he is. All right. So let's go ahead and get this game ranked. I strategically placed this in the A category, but that is no indication of how I feel about the game, as we say every week. But also, I give it an A.
I kind of figured you would.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the game. I don't think it's S material. Like if we were talking an S ranked Mega Man X game, it would have to be X.
I feel like if you would have watched the cutscenes, you would say it was an S.
No. Because X, yeah. I would if I would put X at an S, but I don't feel this is in even the same tier as X. So
the original
I can't give it an S. If I would give X an S, because that would make them equals, and they're not.
So yeah, that's what I was going to ask you was where before I even heard your ranking, I was going to ask where you would place X, because I do personally think, again, X the OG X is just such an impactful game to the genre, and it's like flawless, if not near flawless, of a game. This I think was kind of, as I said, sort of a great reset. It feels the most comparable to X, I think, out of any of the X games. Definitely like a next gen version of X, if you will. Same thing with its opening and the boss fight and the levels and everything. But yeah, I would not say X4 is like an S rank. If you really like Mega Man, if you really like Mega Man games, especially if you're a PS1 buff, like, to me, this is absolutely like an A rank. To put it up against, like, I would debate playing this versus Donkey Kong Country 2. Like, I enjoy both of those games equally, I think. I probably would lean to Donkey Kong Country 2 a little more, but like X4 is really good. It's just a very overall solid game. Yeah. And I would definitely choose it over Ranger X or Rocket Knight or, Oracle of Seasons. So it's like, yeah, A feels good for me.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it over Rocket Knight. I love Rocket Knight so much.
I feel like this is unanimous. I would definitely put it as an A too. Like I said, definitely enjoyed this. I've been looking forward to this since Griff put it on the list many months ago, however long ago.
No, October when we started.
Yeah. Cutscenes were pretty great. I enjoyed the anime aspect of it. Pretty good story. All the characters were pretty great. The sprite work, like Shadowloo said, was top tier. The soundtrack, every single level had a pretty great soundtrack all the way around. The game was difficult at points, but not completely unforgiving. Like anybody, if they practice, they could definitely beat this game. And I like the fact of the ability to select either between X or Zero. I definitely wanted to play as Zero to get the kind of close quarters combat and check him out. But yeah, all the way around, I definitely feel like this is worthy of an A.
I also want to point out I am the only person that completed the OG Griff challenge.
Yep, it was to play and beat both.
I don't know what that is.
The original Griff challenge was going to be you have to beat it as both.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that is another kind of like leg up too that I say is that it's like there really is kind of two stories you get to play through this. In prior games, Zero was always just kind of this like he was always the Boba Fett character that it's like, oh yeah, it's cool to see him, but like you're never going to see him in action or anything. He's always just kind of this background character. And it's like this one is like, nah, you could just be Zero if you want. And he plays entirely different, and he's going to see some of the same stuff, but he sees different stuff too. So, yeah, you kind of get that, like, it's like a twofer. You get kind of two games in one sort of thing. So
Griff says it's so much faster with Zero, and he has a point there because, like I said, it is more difficult in my opinion at Zero if you're not used to it. But there are things like mechanics that make the game a lot smoother, like the double jump and the spin attack that you get. That those are both really nice.
Well, yeah, and even X gets different things. I mean,
yeah, but like
hover
a double
boots,
jump,
air dash, he gets
a double jump in a Mega Man game feels wrong, but it's so good.
You think so?
It does feel a double jump for Mega Man.
Well, I guess what do you mean by a double jump? Because like you can't just like jump up and then jump up higher.
You can with Zero.
Right, but that's what I said for X.
I'm saying, but it just feels so wrong in a Mega Man game that you can do that. Like, double jump is broken.
Yeah,
one of the X games doesn't with the leg upgrades for X, doesn't he have like a secondary rocket boost where he can jump up a second time?
Yeah, that's when you start getting into like X5, X6, and there's
okay.
Man, look, I could talk for days on X5 and why I think that needs to go into the dumpster, but
I feel you.
Yeah, the one last point I forgot to bring up while we are kind of just talking through the game. I know it's an A rank and nobody cares, but the other thing is like it scale wise. Like you look at some of like the levels or even some of the bosses, like the way that the arena's kind of set up and everything, is it just feels bigger than what they could have done with like the Super Nintendo. I really enjoyed that too. Some of the levels feel really, really vertical, or there's not so much of like, hey, now you're going through this room to this room, or like, because basically we have to unload that space and load in this one. It's just like, no, the whole thing's kind of like consistent and you can just play through the whole level. I really like that too. So I don't know. X4 is good. I think X4 is really good. It's worthy of an A rank, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yep. So it looks like we got an A.
And so like I said before, we're working on a new segment. Freedom's been working on a new segment, and it's called "Who Did It Better." And this is
I love that. I love that scrolling text. So what we did here was, because we were talking about it yesterday or last week. I paused it real quick. Give me one sec. So he was like, "Why did it stop?" So Shadowloo, yeah, we were, because some of us are Sega fans and some of us are Super Nintendo fans, but I am not afraid to say whether or not Super Nintendo did something better with the sound card, with the way some stuff feels. I was working on some stuff while I was making my first video, or my video for this, because we were talking about Zombies Ate My Neighbors last week. I decided we would do this one first, and it's only like a 30-second video, or like a minute video, and I showed basically the same gameplay of both, and you'll be able to hear the differences and basically people in the comments, and we can decide ourselves which ones we feel seem better. So we're gonna be starting off with Zombies Ate My Neighbors. So you guys turn up your volume and you guys decide and tell me what you think. So starting off with the Super Nintendo, going to the Sega Genesis, and then it goes back so we can see the same completely. And this is the Genesis. No, look. All right, so that's the first part, and then the second part is a little bit of gameplay. So I personally feel like the audio, at least for the opening, it sounded like it was glitchy to me for the Super Nintendo. That's my personal opinion. It was pretty fresh all the way. All the way, and then the Sega Genesis comes in. You hear it completely fresh. It sounds 10 times fresher to me. So you guys in the comments, make your decision. What do you think, Slow-Mo?
I mean, Shadowloo's, and this is where I'm going with this. I am such a huge fan of the Sega Genesis sound chip that, I mean, I can't, it's got that arcadey sound to it.
Why wouldn't you want everything to sound the same?
It doesn't sound the same. It just has that, arcadey sound to it that I enjoy. And especially for this game, I feel like this game needs that arcadey sound.
All right,
know?
so we're gonna go to it. Like I said, it's only about 15 seconds of both, so it goes back to the Super Nintendo. And this is the first, well, I think the first level, and you will watch them both. Blast processing, baby. Ha. And we'll see what's up. We'll see what you think. Also, like I said, this is the gameplay, and there, Shadowly, you said something about you have to press a button to get the map.
Yeah.
Is that what that? Okay, so I
Mhm.
I mean I just basically let the game play by itself, so it would be the same cutscene all the way through. But I didn't, looking at it straightforward, it didn't show you the map, so I'm guessing you just press one of the buttons. So
Yeah. And this, I'm telling you, sound-wise, they're able to do so much more with it. You actually have like a very separate bass track from the melody. Listen how washed out and awful that sounds.
I mean, there's definitely more depth. There is more depth to the.
Yes, you can have so much. Like, look, I've said it 1,000 times. The Genesis sound fidelity is like undeniable. Yeah, I said you could play 10 songs in a row with only one of them being a Genesis song and you being completely like blindfolded. You would instantly be able to know which one is from the Genesis, right? Just because of the way the sound chip works. But the Super Nintendo like audio quality, especially like from the songs in this game, are so much stupid better. And even game, I mean, we're not even talking about gameplay wise right now, but like audio, you guys are nuts. You guys are nuts. I will die on this hill.
Griff agrees with you. Griff says the Super Nintendo is better. And
me
and Griff have had this argument back and forth countless times.
The other one that I have available is The Lion King.
Throw it up there. Throw it up
All
there.
Right. I will throw it up there. Give me 2 seconds.
Now, so while we're waiting on that, I will say that control-wise, Super Nintendo is better than Sega in Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Because you don't have to,
Control-wise, Super Nintendo is way better. You don't have the combo controls. Everything has its own button.
So real quick before this plays, not only are we going to hear 2 completely different sounds of the music and the sound effects, but when it gets to the second part where it shows gameplay of Simba going across and roaring as a cub in the Super Nintendo as opposed to the Genesis, I think it is completely comical of the soundbite they decided to use for the Super Nintendo. No, I just want you to listen to it. And I didn't know. And this is one of the reasons I was telling Slow-Mo before we actually got on here that I was watching another streamer play this, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's completely weird. Do you have like a bad ROM or something like that? So we'll see. Go ahead and play that there. So it's kind of similar, but you can definitely tell the difference.
So, sound-wise, starting off, it is completely different, and I'm still going to be biased because I do like the way the Sega sounds better. But I can hear it. What Shadow was talking about with like the bass.
Yeah.
I can hear it. But to me, I like that. The Sega sound is just more, especially for this game. This game is one I've played a lot, and I've always enjoyed it on the Sega. And we'll go for multiple reasons, but we'll let the video play out.
All right, so here is the second clip. Good.
Highlight, or can I even do that? Highlight Griff's comment. Yeah, it is like that's the point that I try to get. And that's not to say like the Genesis doesn't have good soundtrack. I mean, like the Sonic game songs are like some of the most, iconic, identifiable, video game music of all time. But the way that they're set up is that like almost everything is pretty bassy, and so it can muddle together really, really easy. Whereas the Super Nintendo is very much separated in terms of like, here's your bass channel. Your bass can really be doing its own thing, while other can control or can be having a treble line very separately, very identifiable on its own right. This just feels like it's like all together. Like you have like one really crappy speaker trying to play all channels. And that's like how I feel about the Genesis. I don't know. I mean, that's just
All
me.
right.
But
So the second part of the clip is Pride Rock, the very first level, and we can hear the sound differences. But like I said, when Simba goes to roar, just like completely just check this out. I do know that this one is slower. The music. All right, did you hear that? That little cat roar is literally what they used for the soundbite. And that's what threw me. Like, I'm watching this dude play, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell was that? Anyway.
See to me, that sound to me right there is...
To me, the Genesis sounds 10 times clearer to me. I don't know. I mean, that's just me. But he roars here at the end. You'll hear the difference.
Yeah.
Like right there, that's like an actual roar. Like I thought maybe they were making a joke or something on that Super Nintendo version. So anyway, here's yeah, go ahead.
So, I've played this game a lot. And not only I prefer it on the Sega. And it's all going to be biased. Because I do appreciate the sound on the Sega more. And the colors are different a little bit in some spots on the Super Nintendo, and I don't enjoy it visually. But my main thing is you can do more accurate jumping and stuff like that on the Sega. And there's parts, especially on the second level, where you're jumping between the hippos and the giraffes and the monkeys, and and there's spots where you can do these jumps where you can hang and climb up that you can't do it on the Super Nintendo. I mean, you might be able to. I just can't get the right hitbox on it if you can. I've never been able to. So there's more finesse work that you can do on the Sega, I feel, that you can't get on the Super Nintendo. And that's just
like I said, I completely appreciate both systems. I just, I enjoy the Genesis, at least for the games that I've played for both. I definitely enjoy, what the Super Nintendo does as well. It's just that the ones that I've played so far, it just feels 10 times better. That's personally for me. If I find one that I feel like the Super Nintendo does better, absolutely, I'll definitely give it the credit where credit is due. But yeah, so I mean, it'll be just something we'll definitely test the waters here. It was just something that, because we had a discussion about it last week, so I figured I would throw something in there and just see what you guys thought. So, but yeah, definitely.
Well, guys, I think everybody here at this point in life knows what time it is.
Starting to wind down.
Yeah, time for the wheel. Let's make sure I replace Mega Man X on here real quick. I did.
I'm definitely, and like I said before, I'm definitely looking forward to playing a lot more of the Super Nintendo titles, like we said before. Because, like I said, I've only had a couple here and there that I've played. So, Shadaloo, I'm definitely waiting on some of that, man.
I think you're gonna really like Excalibur 2097. I feel like that game is like right up your alley.
That's the Super Nintendo, or
it is, yeah.
Okay, and that it's not on the Genesis. Okay,
not to my knowledge. I mean, I can look it up, but even if you haven't played it, I still think that's going to be a game that you'll enjoy.
Cool.
Let's see.
I know I forgot.
Yeah, it's only Super Nintendo.
I forgot to swap something for Ranger X on there. Do we have Phalanx on there for the Super Nintendo?
Nope. What is it?
It's Phalanx. PHALAX. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. If we don't have that one on there as a Super Nintendo title, it's a shmup, but it's one of my favorite shmups, and it's got kind of a cool background story to it too. But yeah,
all right.
That's my Ranger X.
Some really good shuffles. Yeah, because you didn't even have an idea of what you were going to replace it last week.
I did not. But if you want some more Super Nintendo goodness, that's one that has an amazing soundtrack too. Like, it's really, really good.
Oh no!
Oh no way!
Fan vote.
Votes. Fan votes.
And we've got some people in here too. So
yep.
Let's get some recommendations going, guys. Who wants to be a part of this?
I know.
Who wants to pick?
Let's hear the fan votes, and then we'll make a separate wheel. You can still put your hat in the ring there, honey.
Now, Griff says Cuphead, but it doesn't have to be a game from the wheel. It can be anything you want. Any game within our streaming capabilities. But if you want to put Cuphead on there, you can.
So when is this? I kind of forgot how this works. So people kind of give titles. So they kind of put titles, and then we do a new wheel with the titles, kind of thing. With those,
he makes a separate wheel. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Griff is stuck on Cuphead.
Yes, love it.
Stuck on Cuphead.
Lemma, are you looking forward to that?
I mean, we don't know. It'll get picked.
That was one game I was playing through. I got really far in it, and I don't remember why I stopped playing. I think something else came out at the time. It wasn't that I was like just upset or something. I just didn't play it. So,
all right, let's go.
Time Splitters 2 is also a good one.
We got Time Splitters 2.
I think Future Perfect is the better of that trilogy, but Time Splitters 2 is very solid as well.
We've got Cuphead. What else we got? Anybody else that's one?
Dodo, Hokey, anybody else in here? Start throwing games.
I mean, technically, I'm viewing Twitch and YouTube. Does that mean I get to put throw something in there? You know.
I don't know if that's how that works. I'm viewing both Twitch and YouTube, so do I get two choices?
Right.
No.
And I'm viewing it on my computer.
Oh my gosh.
That's 3.
Well, I'm on it live, so do I get a? Yeah. No. Okay.
So do we put? Well, it's a fan thing. Chaos says I'm also here. Yep.
Okay, we're all good.
So we got Cuphead, Time Splitters 2. Anybody else got a game they want to throw in there?
Yep. We got 2 minutes. So anybody want to throw something in there?
Let's give it 15 seconds. Then it's closed. Those are going to be our options. It's going to be Time Splitters 2 or Cuphead.
Freedom Zamber got anything she wants to throw in there?
She says she can't think of anything.
Pandemonium 2.
Every time we do this wheel, it's always 2 choices.
Yep.
You got 50-50. I know I'd rather play Time Splitters 2 than Cuphead, but I have no qualms with Cuphead either. So
roll them.
Let's go.
Let's see what we got.
Time Splitters 2.
It looks like that's what
is that for. What system is that for? Is that PlayStation 1 or
2.
PlayStation 2? Okay, PlayStation 2.
It's PlayStation 2 or Xbox.
Okay.
OG Xbox. So
cool.
Which I have it for OG Xbox, so I'll probably play it on there.
I have them both. I've never played this, so
I have it on PS2 and I've never played it either.
So here's the thing. Oh yeah, GameCube as well. I forgot. Here's the thing. I've got a lot of memories from a multiplayer standpoint on these. These were like my jams. So the Time Splitters 1 is kind of like very different than 2 or 3, like the way it plays. But 2 and 3 are really solid entries into the series. I think 3 is by far the best, but 2 has like multiplayer map building capabilities. So not only can you do multiplayer, but like you can make your own maps, your own game types, capture the flag, survival, like virus style gameplay, you know, like all these different types of gameplay. And I spent a lot of time messing around with that. That was a lot of fun. So I'm pretty positive. I think 2 and 3 were cooperative story-wise.
Chaos says the challenge for this is to complete all the secondary objectives in the story mode.
Oh man, dude, come on! Some of those are so hard.
This game is about 8.5 hours long. If you do everything, it's 32.5.
Damn.
Yeah.
So I will not be doing everything.
Here we go. Here's the 2. Yeah. So. Wow. Yeah, there you go. So those are the two right there. Time Splitters 2's like really good. If you like Evil Dead, there's Evil Dead references in that game too.
I love
Really?
Evil Dead. You know, it's funny. We've had NES, Super Nintendo, Sega. We've had PS1. Now we're on the PS2. We've already had a PS2, haven't we? I don't remember.
Did we?
We've never had a Nintendo 64 game on this show.
Nope.
Yes. Okay, so Future Perfect is the one that was online and it had co-op, and then 16-player online multiplayer. 2 has like local multiplayer. It's more like GoldenEye style. And it is not cooperative. So 2 is like, you know, it's the most single player thing you can do. Right. Future Perfect, if you like 2, Future Perfect's worth checking out because Future Perfect, I think, just does nothing but add to it. Does a really good job. I will say this, Slow-Mo. It's got cutscenes, and they're all pretty funny. So
we'll see.
You skip the cutscenes. It's co-op on GameCube. So I wonder if it's just like before, because they used to have, you know, on the back of Xbox. I don't know if come on camera. Do your thing. There you go. You can see they usually have all these different things, whether it's multiplayer, single player, or whatever kind of stuff. They have ones for co-op before, and for some reason it's not even listed on Future Perfect, and even though it tells you on the back that it's cooperative. So maybe 2 was split screen as well, because I feel like I played through that on split screen co-op with my cousin.
I got a mess here. Let me see if I can find my copy of Time Splitters 2.
Here, let's see. Creating a new player.
We are just about winding down, guys.
I'm not going to do that. That's going to take too much time.
Well, looking forward to this one. Absolutely.
It's behind things. All right, guys. Looking forward to Time Splitters 2. Something I've never even... I have it, and I've never even put it in.
Never even considered it, huh?
No.
Me
so
neither.
Looking forward to that.
Yep. It's great seeing everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching on YouTube and Twitch for the first time today.
Chaos, congratulations on your first fan vote.
Finally got a fan vote.
All right, guys.
Good.
I think this is it. So we will see you all next week for Time Splitters 2. Goodbye and good riddance.
All right, everybody have a good week. See ya.
See ya.